All right, so those of you who are in Tennessee, guess what? House Bill 2689 is getting ready to pass. That is requiring paternity tests before you sign the birth certificate.
Uh-oh.
Because, when people do paternity tests, 1/3 of the time, they end up not being the father, and if they start testing everybody, that number can only go up, not down.
Hey, this is Raulh. Please act right. Now keep in mind, this is just in the state of Tennessee for right now, but I get the distinct feeling that the other states will follow real soon. So to the child support scamming women out there who get pregnant by Pookie, but getting child support from the good dude, your scamming days are numbered.
Girl, you supposed to be 1,000 feet away from my house. What you doing over here?
Hey, I'm pregnant with your baby.
That ain't my baby.
This is a big deal. This is an issue that needs to be fixed.
State Representative Antonio Parkinson says the conception of this bill came from a haircut trip.
I was in the barbershop and this young man stopped me and he said that he was in a long-term relationship. They had a child. They were living together at the time.
Parkinson says the man went on to say that after the kid turned 5, he found out his partner had an affair, and a DNA test later revealed the man was not the child's father after all.
When they went to court over the child support, he presented the DNA evidence. The magistrate, and this is in Shelby County Juvenile Court, the magistrate basically banged the gavel down and said, somebody's got to feed him, and it's going to be you until he ages out of child support.
No man should be paying child support for a child that's not his. And to be honest with you, this should have been fixed a long time ago, because we know women are doing this paternity scam for more and more as time goes on, getting pregnant by one man while having another man pay for it.
What's up?
What's up is why you've been lying to me for 11 years, telling me that DJ is my real son. Why you been lying to me?
What have I been lying about?
I got DNA test done.
A DNA saying what?
Saying that he's not my son.
Let me see this DNA test.
You don't need to see it. I saw it.
How DNA test gonna say
How
that
you
your
gonna be
son
lying to
ain't
me
your
for
son?
11 years? Why would you do that to me?
Well, where's the lie? Because
The
I
lie
don't
is
see no
you.
DNA
You
test.
are the lie. You have been lying to me for 11 years, having me believe that my son that I've been raising for 11 years is not really my son. Like, how could you do that to me?
Now let's have a look at what women think about mandatory paternity tests at birth. There's cheaper and more effective ways than Botox and microneedling to help turn back time. Anti-aging pros agree there's some impressive science behind supplements to support your skin. For instance, one of the best ways to ensure your skin stays healthy looking and youthful as possible has everything to do with your collagen production. That's why I highly recommend taking and using collagen for your everyday regimen. The brand I use comes with 10 grams per serving of supercharged collagen to support skin health, and it's super easy to blend with your favorite drink of choice. This shopper's favorite provides 5 clinically important types of collagen to help improve skin elasticity, hydration, and youthful glow. That's why I believe results are 100% worth the investment. The best part is, if you order collagen today using my link, you'll get 53% off, plus receive several free gifts with your order, including free shipping, free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free new e-report titled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. What's more is that a portion of the order goes towards helping hungry children in need through the partnership with NoHungryKids.org. Go to healthactright.com, that's healthactright.com, or click on the link in the description.
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid. I don't think that, it's something that if you feel like you need a DNA test, go do that on your own time because you feel that way. I don't think every person, there's millions of people in the United States. Like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
I have a serious problem with 2 things that she said right here. Number 1, saying that mandatory tests are stupid. From a man's point of view, here's why it's not stupid.
Women cheat just as equally. Think about this. They said 1 out of every 3 men that, go test for DNA are not the father. Yes.
Yeah, they said that.
33% of the men are not the father that
I've never heard that one.
It's a real
Look that
stat.
up. Do your fact check.
Hey, what do you always say? So if you're not knocking their head off, somebody else gonna knock that lady head off. Right? Is that right or wrong, Tally? If your man ain't knocking you off properly,
loyal.
Huh?
I'm loyal.
You're loyal to whack. Yeah, thank you.
It actually,
See?
Yeah.
Fact check.
of all the possible fathers who take a paternity test, about 32% are
There
not
you
the
go,
biological
Tally.
father.
There you go, Tally.
But
Watch her get slammed thinking she has an antidote to this.
Okay, what?
This is 1/3 of men who have a reason to take a paternity test.
That's the men that got tested.
Exactly.
So what about the men who didn't get tested?
Exactly. You know how many men are walking around here paying child support for children that he think is theirs, but the baby mama knows there's a possibility he ain't the pappy?
I think that the United States making DNA testing mandatory is stupid.
So saying that DNA testing is stupid only makes sense to a woman who's not paying child support. The second thing she said that I have a problem with is that people could be doing other things with their time.
The states, like, it doesn't make sense that people could be using that time to do other things. Like, you could be saving a life. You could be in a hospital saving a life.
And you too could be in a hospital saving lives or taking a class to teach you how to save someone's life. But instead, you took the time out to get dressed, put makeup on, and come to this interview. She's trying to make it sound like DNA testing is an all-day process. They just swab you inside of your mouth and the baby's mouth, and you're out of there until the test results come back.
I personally pay taxes.
Like the rest of us adults do.
And I care about where my money goes. I'm not here to pay for so-and-so because there's a confusion about who's the father. That's not my business. Handle your personal shit.
Now, I do agree with that. It should be paid for by the couple that are being tested. But I wonder if she has that same passion about paying taxes for government subsidies like Section 8 that are being taken out of her check for women who abuse the system by having multiple babies out of wedlock and collecting said subsidy. Of course not. This is just an excuse she's using so she can support the sisterhood.
And for me, I want to fund schools. I want to fund the MTA because the trains are never on time. We got bigger problems. We have bigger problems. I'm sorry. I'm not paying for no mandatory test.
So if we were to look at her charitable contributions per year on her income tax returns, how many of these organizations do you think she actually gives to voluntarily? She says she wants to give to schools. I wonder if she's given at least $1 a month in supporting college students. I think we know the answer to that.
I don't think there's any issue with a man taking care of another man's child. Women do it all the time.
But not financially.
Whether you know or not, he might bring another child and say, oh, I had this out of our wedlock, you know, what are we gonna do? Or he's taking your money and paying child support to another family. You had no idea. So when we're just like jumping like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. Hold on, it's already being done.
See how she's taking isolated incidents of women giving money to men and the men spending the money with another family and trying to make it an argument versus the literally millions of men out here paying child support for children that they did not conceive, but not mentioning a thing about women who are accepting child support from a man who is not the baby daddy. Once again, always flipping it back on men.
Right, a bill proposed in the Tennessee state legislature could make it mandatory now for fathers out of wedlock to take a DNA test before signing a birth certificate.
So keep in mind, this is for men and women having children out of wedlock. So for men who are married and feel like the child may not be theirs, you'd have to do it on your own. It won't be mandatory.
Fox 13 government reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live. Kayla, this bill was discussed and passed in a House committee today. And, you know, it goes back. There have been advocates who said it could solve a lot of problems if it were just the first thing that happens for all babies.
Yes. It would save a lot of problems. A lot of problems for men paying child support for children that aren't theirs. Too many women out here are doing paternity fraud, knowing full well that the man they claim is the father is really not the father.
That ain't my baby.
It's unfair and it needs to stop. Hopefully this law will spread to other states until it eventually becomes the norm in all states. This will stop men who are not fathers from having to deal with long, expensive court proceedings and losing anyway, even after he proves through DNA that the child is not his.
Man was not the child's father after all.
When they went to court over the child support, he presented the DNA evidence. The magistrate, and this is in Shelby County Juvenile Court, the magistrate basically banged the gavel down and said, somebody's got to feed him, and it's going to be you until he ages out of child support.
Parkinson says the man ended up having to pay up to 5 years in child support as a result, and also ended up losing his license, job, and going to jail temporarily.
Destroying his whole life over a baby that wasn't even his.
House Bill 2698 will make it so that if a prospective father wants to voluntarily sign a birth certificate, he has to provide DNA test results first. Parkinson says this doesn't only impact Memphis.
The rural district attorneys were looking for somebody to carry legislation to start reforming our child support system. because it's rural guys that are getting hit with these same laws, and it is hurting.
He said rural guys. The rural guys are the guys who don't live in the city. That means that it's starting to hurt some of those guys that have an actual voice. That's why they're starting to implement this law. See how it works? When it's only hurting the little guy, nobody cares. But when it starts hurting the big boys' pockets, now all of a sudden they can do changes. Well, either way, the little guys are starting to win on this one. So first, passing laws so women can not just divorce her husband because she's not happy. And now,
man, I met the one about 3 months ago, right?
DNA proof has to be done for unwed people.
She had a little pudge in her stomach, but I ain't paying no attention to it.
To protect men from paying child support.
I thought it came from drinking 40s and shit, because she had a little beer on her breath.
From children that are not his.
Come to find out, she's 6 months pregnant.
It's a start in the right direction for men.
Talking about I'm the baby's daddy. What? Yeah.
So for the women out there who say he should trust the woman he's sleeping with, I leave you with this 10-second video clip.
You go through your man's phone because you want to know of what?
Did you know?
Yeah, you go through all his text messages and check his pockets and always follow him around, checking where he is on where you find my phone, all that stuff where he is, because you want to ensure that he's being faithful. So what's the difference between that and a DNA test?
Exactly. Touche, ladies. Touche.
How you gonna be the baby's daddy? You know she lying.
So we got another win on the way for men. Finally. But remember, fellas, even if you wear protection, you gotta make sure that you get rid of the contents of your man milk before you toss the condom in the trash. These women are slick. They'll wait until you leave, go get the condom out of the trash, freeze your sperm, and use it later when she's ovulating, just to put you up on some of the game they'll pull on you. Protect yourself at all times, fellas. Protect yourself at all times.
They smile in your face all the time. They wanna take your place, the backstabbers.
Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please act right? My name is Raulh. See you in another video. So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these two videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.